Yeah. We back with another one. Yeah.
What's going on, Juco?
We reacting over here. I'm El Jefe. We just gonna like and subscribe. Have fun. Kick back. Smith Cartel. Y'all like and subscribe because you're gonna love it. This is the Smith Cartel channel. Go ahead and like, subscribe. We gonna keep going fed until we go live. I'm El Jefe, the big boss, kicking at Third Coast. We going, running, smiling, man. We doing the most to my family. I wish you the best. Remember what Jefe taught you, boy. Say it with your chest. Big boy, big boss. I rock it in the South. Got these folks lugs and all this gold shining in my mouth. I'm the man, understand. Like and subscribe. We gon' keep spinning the block until we get it right. Yeah, that's real. Like and subscribe, that's the channel. We keep it real, give you more than you can handle. Yeah, like and subscribe. Smith Cartel, I'm El Jefe. All right. Smith Cartel channel. We like and subscribe. It's Jefe. We back with another one. Got ahead of myself there. All right, let's see what we got going in the cooker today, man, because told you I got that murder mystery coming up. So we got this Fear Thy Neighbor clip. You know what I'm saying? It's a good show, man. I watch it all the time. It's crazy, but it's funny too. So some of these clips gonna be long, but we're gonna watch it and see what's going on, dissect it. Y'all like and subscribe to the channel, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure out what's going on. Let me see, who is this? Chillax Time. Shout out to Chillax Time, y'all. Let's get it. Ooh, child. Yeah.
You can find the perfect place to settle.
I love the house.
Next to great neighbors.
He seemed like he was a good guy, you know.
But first impressions don't tell the whole story.
So don't. What? The dogs?
And a dream home
The dogs trying to get a
becomes a
kid?
nightmare.
See what I'm saying, y'all? Y'all see what I'm saying?
This is a story of the neighborhood.
The dogs trying to get the kids, I think.
versus a choir boy.
He's gonna walk away like that?
You keep poking the bear,
What the hell are you doing?
you know, you gonna wake the bear up.
It feels like I'm living a nightmare. It feels like one of those dreams that you just can't wake up from.
Get excited when these come on, boy. I be loving Fear Thy Neighbors. Y'all like and subscribe. We watching it together. Me and my sister watch these all the time. I'm gonna have her do a reaction with me with one. Shout out to my sister Brandy.
Detroit's up-and-coming Five Points neighborhood sits at an important cultural crossroads.
5 points, baby.
Just 1 block south of the fabled 8 Mile Road.
Okay.
It's a changing
Detroit, baby.
neighborhood. It was
Don't
at
play
one
out
time
there.
it was a white bastion. It's a diverse neighborhood.
That's good.
It's a proud neighborhood. People keep things up, and you know, it's their little piece
Where's
of the
Nick?
city.
Sorry. Why you got... I need
It
to
was
get
a
a
quiet
filter, boy.
neighborhood.
My brain
had
and
a
my
nice
mouth
park
just
around
connect.
the corner, you know, for my kids.
For real. And then they gonna just put his face up close. Why you do that to me? Man, do I got a neck?
It's a perfect
Yeah, I got
setting
a
for
neck.
mechanic
I got a
Mark
neck.
Davidson. He works
I
at
gotta
a nearby
check.
auto body shop.
Ooh, it look like it's hard to swallow.
Yes.
Mark was one of the first people that I met and befriended when I moved over there.
Watch your fingers there, son.
He was a good guy, a single dad.
Good. Yeah.
If his neighbors were in need of auto repair or their lawn cut or a few dollars or any type of other services in the neighborhood, Mark was the go-to guy.
He got a forehead from...
I think he
Ooh,
just saved me $600.
he better know how to do something with that head.
Mark has split custody of his 2 sons, Craig and Martin.
He was a single
Hey, cute
father.
little boys.
It was a struggle.
Take the boys to school, and we'll call it even.
You got a deal?
Oh, he making deals. Okay.
But as a
Chugging and
dad,
jiving. I
you
know
can
this
see
right.
that he was stern and
Show me you
he
get
had
her
a
when
good
you,
heart.
without saying it.
He was a big guy, but he didn't want drama, you know.
One of the perks of this community is that Mark's sons have their own private playground, an empty lot, right next to their backyard.
All right, guys, time to pack it in.
It's city-owned property that hasn't been developed.
So the side lot is pretty common in Detroit.
Oh,
Either
yeah.
a home was torn down or there was never a home built for whatever reason.
Hi. Hello. Hi, who are you?
Your new neighbors.
Charles Montgomery, known as Chaz, has just bought the house next door with his girlfriend, Carrie.
It was a great stepping stone for me and my family. It was a 3-bedroom home, pretty good area.
So what they're saying is like where you go to, you can get like little areas and stuff. You can have little places where you could, you like, what's the word I'm looking for? Y'all know what I mean? Like they got a little lot in the middle. Sometimes that stuff be owned by the city. So if it's owned by the city, nobody can say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, ooh, they blowing me up on my, I got a new follower. Okay. All right. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. So yeah, so that's what it is. It's those housing areas that are built like that. I think that's what they got it set up as. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see what we got. Let's keep on playing the video and check it out. Let's go.
I wondered what you kids got up to. Hi, I'm Carrie. I see our kids already met.
I loved the house. And when I did meet Mark, he seemed real friendly.
Charles.
Mark.
It always seems nice in the
Charles
beginning.
is an insurance agent, but his true passion is music. Carrie looks
Yeah,
after their
always
daughters,
starts.
Linda and Anna. They
I mean,
have
they
just
look like a
moved from
pretty
the
decent
suburbs
family,
to be
though.
closer to Charles's family.
But this is cool though, eh?
Yeah.
It's like an extra backyard.
So,
Kids, they
yeah,
would play
I don't know.
outside and stuff. They became
I don't know the
friends.
way they looking.
Yet
hold
all
on,
too soon,
I don't know the way they looking. It's like they got their eyes on that lot. So we're gonna see. Let's see. Let's
the good
see what
times
happens.
come to a screeching halt.
It always gets live quick.
Well, hey, maybe
Did
we'll
it
see
go
that
up?
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, guys.
It done
Let's
already
go.
went up, y'all. Look at that forehead.
So I'm like, okay, perfect. You know, it was a beautiful situation.
It's always beautiful at first.
For now, life on the street is all smiles and sunshine.
Mark's kids were always great. They came over, played, and sometimes would ask if my kids could come outside and play.
Which is cool. I mean, you want your kids to interact
We're
with other
happy. We're
people,
ecstatic. We're meeting
other
the
children,
neighbors.
so
We're
they
thinking
can get to
everybody's
develop, you know, character
very good.
and stuff.
Seems like a really nice family.
Yes. The kids get along great.
Yeah.
It looked like, you know, everything was like, you know, neighborly and,
She
you know,
looked like
it
she
was
lied
peaceful.
when she opened her mouth in her sleep. She looked like she lied.
Then, Charles's
I ain't
life
even gonna
is
hold
turned
y'all. You can
upside
tell the
down.
ones. You can tell them.
I get a call out the blue, and they're asking me to come to California.
He looked like he lied too.
Good, okay? All right, love you.
1 year after moving into his new home,
I'll see you later.
Charles is offered his dream job in Los Angeles.
I've been in music, you know, since
Oh,
I was a
that's
little kid.
cool.
You know, playing in church.
Got his dream
And
job,
at this
so
point,
he
I had
and
already
then
worked with
doing it in
Proof,
church.
Eminem, D12. I mean,
Oh,
we worked
okay.
with some big artists.
which is pretty good. That's good when you work with them people. Eminem, especially, he top of the echelon.
Me too.
You got that on your resume, shit.
But we'll be better off here.
Carrie decides to stay behind in Detroit, near her family.
So he left and the girl stayed.
Of course, you know, my girl was happy because she already knew how much I cared about music. She told me go. You know, I go.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because she had to see if he was going to go with it or he was going to like it or not. So she didn't know if he was going to want to stay
For
or
Carrie,
want to.
the upkeep of the property proves too much to manage on her own.
Uh-oh. What you mean? She can't cut the grass? She can't mow the lawn? What you mean it's upkeep is too much? Oh,
So
hell
she
no.
eventually takes the girls to stay with her mom.
Yeah, she said, the hell with this house. I know that's right.
makes
She said, I ain't
plans to
gonna be
check up on the
good.
place from
I
time
ain't
to
cut
time.
new grass. None.
Next door, Mark faces his own.
So I think I know what's gonna happen is I think the dude gonna start using his house or something like that. I guarantee you. Cause if he left it there, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. That's all I'm saying is it just be like that with the how it's set
own
up.
issues. His auto body shop
I got a
has run
feeling that's
into
what's
trouble
gonna
over
happen.
a zoning issue.
Uh-oh.
The city has shut it down.
Who, the nice guy? Oh, he lost his shop. I mean,
think
that happens
that
too.
was, like,
That
real
happens,
stressful
man.
for
You
Mark to
can't,
have
it
to
ain't
go
like
through.
it don't happen.
You know,
That
something
does
he's
happen.
trying the way to
He
provide
lost
for
his shop.
children.
It ain't unheard of.
He needs a new place to do his work.
Uh-huh.
And the solution might be right under his nose.
How
It's
you
like they
figure?
abandoned the place. So weird, man.
Weird that they left their house closed up.
I understand Mark feeling that way too because it was like a ghost town.
See what I'm saying? I knew she was a liar. She'll lie for
Chaz, you dropped
anything,
this
man.
simple
How you
future.
gonna sit there? If that's that man's house,
Mark wonders
he
if
owned it.
maybe
How can you
Charles
say that
will
it's
never
okay for this
return
man to
from
use
LA.
his stuff and put his stuff in his
This
yard and do
isn't
all
a starter
that?
home anymore.
That's
He
crazy.
sees this neighbor leave town. All right, let's make the most of it. Let's make the most out of this property.
How do
It
you
looks
come
like
up with
he's
that
found the
idea?
perfect spot to revive his
That's the
body
most
shop.
ghetto crap I ever heard in my life.
As
How do
long as
you
no
how do
one's
you look
living
at
there.
somebody else's house and say, oh, they left to go move somewhere else, but
Mark's
they own the
brilliant
house, but
plan
I'm gonna go ahead
is
and
about
use
to
it.
go up in flames.
I told you. I
18
told
months
you.
After leaving for the West Coast.
I told y'all what he was
Charles
gonna do.
is
That's
on
some
his way
ghetto
home
stuff.
to
Look,
stay.
and now he coming back to his own house. This is his house.
Despite his success in the music business, Charles recognizes he can't be in two cities at once.
Yeah.
California, it was a fun time, but in the back of my mind, I still have this house. And as much as I love
Yeah.
my music career, my family comes first. My girlfriend told me I needed to come back. There's a lot of stuff going on that needs my immediate attention with my family.
Charles plans to step back into his
Yeah.
insurance job and his house, just the way he left it. But there's an ugly surprise waiting for him.
Oh no, those tires in front of his house? He got cars and sinks and stoves.
I was not prepared for what I walked into.
That is insane, yo. Look
My
at this.
complete driveway is blocked. There's garbage, debris,
What the hell?
TVs, furnaces, hot water tanks.
What's happened here?
That's crazy. But I'm
The
tripping.
privacy fence that was once there.
I'm tripping because the city didn't say anything. The city didn't notify him, hey, man, you got a bunch of junk on your yard. Hell, in Texas, they're going to tell you if your grass is an inch too high. They're going to fine you. They ain't even going to tell you. They just going to fine you. They ain't even going to say nothing. They're just going to be like, oh, your water bill going to come in and you're going to have a big old charge on there that say for this, that, and the other. It's the same thing with your trash. So I don't understand how nobody notified this man that his yard was full of debris and stuff. That's crazy. I don't get it. That is insane, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But let's get it.
There is completely removed. There's pallets in my backyard. There were cars, stoves,
been mad as
refrigerators,
hell.
tools.
I thought you were checking on this place.
I was. It didn't look like this the last time I was here.
I just couldn't believe the transition that my property had taken. The entire exterior of the house, you know, in a matter of months had went to, you know, for lack of a better expression, it went to hell.
That's crazy. That is crazy. He can't even pull up in
There's
his own
only
driveway.
one person in the neighborhood who could be responsible.
Hey, you're back.
Like, what is exactly going on here?
When Chaz returned from California, it appeared that Mark really took possession of the property.
How? How do you do
I can
that?
explain.
That's only some
I lost my
ghetto
shop.
stuff right there.
He
How
had
do
to
you
get
take
out,
possession of
so he
somebody
moved his
else's stuff?
operation to his home.
I don't have anywhere else to go.
Most ignorant stuff I've
Essentially
ever
said,
seen.
I thought you weren't coming back. I thought the house was abandoned. I took it over.
The situation.
That's what I
with
said. Look, he had to
Mark
say,
being a
look, I had
single
like,
father,
he
it
took
got
it
hard.
over.
He had to do
Dude, what
what
the
he had
hell?
to do to
There she
provide
go,
for his
lying.
children.
honestly
So
didn't
he
think he'd be
stole
back.
somebody's stuff?
I'm excessively
He
shocked at
robbed
this
him
point.
from his house?
It's not my problem.
And, you know, at this point, you know, just get your stuff out. You know, clear out my driveway so I can get my car.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll clean it up.
They don't know it yet, but a war between these once friendly neighbors has just been ignited.
It started getting heated. Like something was bound to happen.
I need to talk to you.
Uh-oh, they start fighting? They start fighting? Oh, it's getting saucy, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Fear that neighbor. Let me get in it.
It looked like a junkyard. He told me it's gonna take him a little while to do anything.
All right. You've got 1 week.
While Mark Davidson clears out the mountain of junk from their property, Charles and Carrie Montgomery go
And just so y'all know, the reason why they do it to where you can see sometimes where they're talking and it's off a little is because of the copyrights from ID Discovery. So in order to show it on YouTube and stuff, they had to break it down in different ways and, you know, speed it up, take some parts and cut it in and put it in. But it's all still the same. It's the video. Y'all can go and watch the whole thing on the TV channel. But yeah, this is it's getting saucy now. This man took
to
this
stay
man's
with
house.
family.
I think that was like real stressful for Mark trying to deal with, you know,
It's
a neighbor
stressful.
that just seemed like he just got it out for you.
Look at her.
I
She
leave,
said it's stressful
go to
for
my
him
parents' house,
to tell this
couple
man
of
to get
days
his
later,
stuff out of
still
his
there.
yard. He being difficult. He being difficult.
It took you a week to move a television?
Leave, come back a third time. Like, this is ridiculous.
I need a little bit more time.
When days become weeks, that's not really a quick time frame. It
So,
builds
hey.
the tension between two people.
For you to keep hounding him, like you was just being unreasonable.
How?
due
He
to
wanted it
the
out of his
circumstances
yard.
that it's impossible for Mark
Okay,
to be
well, why
able to
couldn't he
just
put it in
move
your yard?
cars and things like that.
Why couldn't he put it in your yard? If you his
Finally,
friend, why he couldn't
Mark
put it in your
contacts
yard and get it
Charles
out of
to
his?
tell him the job is done.
Somebody, I'm waiting.
I'm thinking, okay, now I can finally start.
That's how you know a fake
you know,
friend.
moving forward with my plans.
She'll cheer for him, but wouldn't put it in her yard. Could have put all
But
that
Mark
junk in her
didn't
yard.
reveal the entire story.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
He's only cleared out the front of the property.
The vacant lot and the backyard was still littered with wooden pallets with all types of garbage.
So Chaz is able to move back in, but he's not able to use his own backyard.
And soon, the family is confronted with something far more dangerous.
Oh, his pits.
Go, go, go!
His pits, the big old pits.
One dog was, 80-something plus pounds. The dog doesn't just
they
stop at my door.
exaggerating
He
them.
comes, paws
People always
and
see
head in
dogs
my
and they're like,
ear.
that is big, man. Come on,
Dogs
man.
would be roaming outside unleashed.
And I know that for a fact, because I used to, those some big ones though. But I used to think that
Barking and growling.
we used to have a poodle in our neighborhood, toy poodle too, little poodle named Snowball. That
I'm
poodle
just
scared
thinking, like,
everybody. It chased everybody down.
What am I supposed
We
to
thought
do
that
from here?
poodle was huge. His little thing was tiny in the mud.
So
I think that
not
thing got a
only do you
kick out
have
of
the
it.
junk, now you have these dogs to deal with. For a person who moved back for family reasons, that's not the best circumstance.
What? What's the problem?
That's quite the welcome party.
The dogs are harmless. All the kids around here love them.
You know, just
Here we
how
go.
pit bulls do.
Let's
you know,
see.
somebody walk past something,
Would she
they
let her
bark,
kids play with
run
them?
back and forth. But
Would you let your
yeah,
kids play with them?
I wouldn't mess with them.
Exactly.
and
So
I
you
was not
defending the
comfortable
person,
with
even though you said you wouldn't even
kids
mess with them. Come on,
being
man.
out with them
Come
dogs.
on, man.
Have your girls come over and play with them sometime.
My
No.
kids can play with your kids when your junkyard is cleaned up and your so-called pets are fenced in.
Now, this is an environment where they cannot play in the backyard. It's becoming a very
Ooh, those are big old pits. Those
Dangerous
are big old
situation.
pitties. They cute though. I'm sorry. I'd have rolled out there and played with them damn dogs. Come here, you big.
Even after night falls, there's no relief from his neighbor's torment.
I don't think they looked like they was trying to bite him. They looked like they were more like just wanting to, just didn't know who he was. See, because the tails are still wagging. They look like they want to play more than anything, which I know dogs, but people that don't know dogs, that's terrifying. The hell he doing now? Those aliens?
It's coming from the neighbors.
Early on, I had no idea what was going on next door. I'm thinking he's renovating. The only thing I know is that I'm losing sleep.
It's just one more problem Charles has to deal with.
Can you please keep your renovations to business hours?
It's just my shop. Some guys prefer the night shift, okay?
That doesn't work for my family.
Look at that cutie pie. Look at that cutie pie right there.
Hey,
Mark comes up with a plan
Wait, wait.
he thinks might work
Here.
for everybody.
let me make you a deal. Let me make you an offer.
He eventually
They look like
says,
puppies still.
you
look
should just
young.
sell me the house for $1,000.
The dogs.
1,000.
Is that a joke?
You want me to sell you a house where when the comps in this neighborhood are around 50,000, you want me to sell it to you for $1,000?
I'll pay you cash. Look, private sale, no agent, no commission.
And of course I declined.
This is when
Maybe I'll
this
go
is
to
what you
five.
call a dope fiend.
When someone offers you $5,000 for a home that's not for sale, that you occupy and that you've never said you don't want, maybe they're not actually asking.
After profiting off
That's
my
true.
land for months, you should be paying me back rent, not making some lowball offer.
He right.
6. I can do 6. Come on.
What are you, high?
Come on.
I told him, why don't you
I
sell me
said you
yours
told
for
him I'm not a
6?
crackhead.
But like, sell me yours for
After a
6.
while, I just never allowed my kids outside anymore. Mark's kids never came by anymore.
You don't see a good deal when you can take it? Come on. You're just gonna walk away like that?
You keep poking the bear, you gonna wake the bear up.
No, you keep confronting a thief. That's what you mean.
There's so much friction
Usually,
between
y'all in
the
the
two
ghetto, they
neighbors.
always come up with different
Everything begins to
narratives
feel
for
like a
who, what
threat.
they come up different names for
So
people who
one
do
day,
wrong.
just like I normally would, I try to get on the internet and nothing. I look outside and the line has been clipped. At this point, I'm getting very nervous.
Charles calls the internet company, but the repairman needs safe access to the side of the house.
I tell Mark via text message, I need you to, put your dogs up. I tell him the time that they gave me for the appointment, and I just leave it at that. He never responds, never does anything. So I'm assuming that everything's good. He's gonna put his dogs up. I walk out into the backyard, there's no dogs. I'm thinking everything's good.
Still, working in this mess won't be an easy job.
At first he said, I'm not doing it. I've essentially begged the guy, like, man, please. He eventually says yes. He climbs up the pallets and then starts climbing up the pole. I turn around, go in the house, and about 10 minutes later, I hear screaming.
Help somebody, help!
It's like, man, what the hell? What? It feels like I'm living a nightmare. It feels like one of those dreams that you just can't wake up from.
Now they look mad. Now they look pissed off. They pissed off now. They ready to light him up.
The guy, he's yelling.
What the hell's going on?
Where did these dogs come from? What the hell? These dogs are trying to come up. They're coming up the palace. And what the hell?
Both Charles Montgomery and the internet repairman call 911.
Oh, hey, come here.
Nah,
By
bruh.
the time police arrive, all is calm and
That's
quiet.
crazy.
Oh, it seems to be the problem.
My neighbor sicked his dogs on the internet.
That's not
guy.
true.
Chaz was saying that, Mark did it purposely.
She cross-eyed in the mug.
But I hope
I thought she was
hope
looking
it
at two
wasn't
people, man.
Mark insists.
Look, so
it
I
was
see how she's
unintentional.
laughing about it. She's like, yeah, I hope it wasn't
My
purposely.
dogs get out.
That's what happens when you're around the ghetto.
Happens by accident.
Mark tells the police that there's no cause for alarm, and the police take his word.
Listen to me, you know what? It's not just the dogs. He's filled my yard with junk. Come look at this.
Let's go. It's a real mess back there. All right, you gotta clean it up, or else that's a hefty fine. And mind the dogs.
Okay, officer.
So they don't walk all the way into the backyard. They open up the fence, and he just told them to clean it up.
That's it?
And left. That was it.
Unbelievable.
Charles is furious the police are no help. And now, he looks like a snitch.
Mark, when he was walking away, just said, man, you a snitch? I got you. I got you. And so that's when, of course, everything starts to get really, really worse.
Jojo, it turns up quick.
After that, there's a dead rat.
Snitches get stitches. They get dead, killed rats, which in Detroit means you're a rat. And you can expect that similar will happen to you as happened to the rat.
We should call the cops. This is getting out of hand.
I heard about the dead rats being put on the porch.
See? It's
Didn't
all
see
funny.
that either.
It's all funny to them. Because the man's harassing them, it's all funny, but if he does anything back, then he's a bad person.
Between a rock and a hard place. I'm unsure what to do, how to move forward.
I'd have whooped his, you know what? That's what I'd have did. We'd have been
For
both
Charles,
sitting up in the same
there's
cell.
no
I'd have still
escape
beat him up
from
the whole night.
relentless stress.
God, every freaking night.
I would see lights and power tools closer to my home being ran all hours of the night, sometimes.
That's crazy.
Well into 3 and 4 in the morning.
Ain't nothing but the devil out there that
I
time.
think we should call the cops.
Honestly, I don't think that's a good idea.
At this point, with the police being caught out there, he pretty much told me that I was a rat and that I was trying to, you know, have him thrown in jail.
Instead of turning to the law, Charles puts Mark on notice.
I put up fake cameras. These are battery operated, so there's a red light constantly on them. So it appears like they're real, but you know, they're not. They're just up there as a deterrent.
That's not the only course of action Charles takes.
There were bushes alongside of this fence and trees. So at this point, I
Wait a
cut
minute.
all the
So
bushes
he cut
down.
them off in the middle
I
of the
cut all
morning
the trees
too?
down to shrubs. I want everybody to be able to see, you know, what's going on, and I want to make it feel like if he ever tried this again, like there's cameras here to see.
And with a clear view of Mark's backyard, moonlight reveals exactly what's been going on.
Now, where I
chopping
can see
cars?
everything, and I'm looking at cars, you know,
Oh,
doors
they
missing off
chopping
cars,
cars.
windshields
They
gone.
got a chop shop.
It was very clear that Mark operated a illegal chop shop, which was to break down stolen cars and sell the parts on the black market.
Wow.
I can't be around this. Like, I'm a licensed insurance agent.
Yeah.
I'm legally bound to report this sort of activity.
Yeah.
You can't have a chop shop and an insurance guy right next door.
So can't. That ain't about to happen.
Charles turns to his other neighbors for help.
Hey, what's up, man?
So at this point, the conflict really came to a head. So you have
They should've never
the
turned any
alleged
of
chop
them.
shop versus the insurance agent who can't be involved with this kind of thing, even at the tacit wink-wink
Yeah.
agreement level.
I think Mark's chopping up cars, though.
You know, it's none of her business what he's doing.
You could tell that he worked on cars. You know what I'm saying? He had the whole yard, you know, full of them.
Over the years, he had developed credibility with his neighbors, repairing their cars, doing other neighborhood favors for them.
Look, it's none of our business. And besides, Mark's a good dude once you get to know him.
He's done nothing to me.
So he found a safe niche in that neighborhood.
No, I need to shut this down.
I said, look, I'm gonna get all of this squared away. I said, I'm just gonna buy the lots. Just get all of this headache done. I'm just gonna buy the lot.
I mean, it's the only way out. I see you sort of moving.
Oh, yeah? Good luck with that, man.
Thanks.
Here it comes. The messiness. It's finna get saucy. He gonna act like a female now.
Hey, man, you good?
I'm good. I got something to tell you, though.
Look at him. Look at
They
this.
say loose
Look at
lips
this
sink
punk.
ships, and Chaz ends up telling his plans to someone he thinks is sympathetic,
That's why you should keep
and then
your
you end
mouth
up
shut.
giving information to your adversary.
Yep.
That's my livelihood.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I would think that he should have had a better judgment of going back and telling Mark that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's feeding the fire right there.
Y'all all messy, that's why. What are they gonna do? It ain't his lot.
So Mark appears from just out of nowhere and walks up on me. I gotta talk to you. Real aggressive. I just say, hey, I can't do this right now. Like, I have a client on the phone.
I need to talk to you.
I'm on the phone still with the client talking. I open up my door, try to get in the car. Mark rushes me from behind, pushes me up against my car. I struggle as much as I can to turn around, and I drop my phone. The guy lifts me off my feet. It's like a pit bull fighting a chihuahua. Like, this is not the type of fight that you want to see go down.
I'm gonna come back and burn this house down, and then I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, he gonna come back and do it all. But if you do that, ain't you niggas know? Ain't it gonna catch your house too, dummy? Goofy.
You think you're gonna get away with that?
He lifts me completely off the ground.
He tried to arrest him.
Hurt my back pretty bad and starts choking me.
The 6'2", 230 guy walks up on the 5'7", 150 guy and basically grabs him by his neck.
I'm not an aggressive person. I don't fight people. I don't instigate things. I'm the person that people call in to solve the issues. I'm a problem solver.
Listen, you need to reconsider my offer to sell your house to me.
He was like, you know, it'd be better for everybody if you just leave.
Think about it.
The guy has physically assaulted me now. I know that choking is a felony. You know, this guy just literally choked me. There's marks around my neck. You know, I want something done. I mean, you know, from the guy that I met initially, this guy was nothing like that. You know, at this point, I'm really fearing for my safety and my life. So I end up going into the police station, and I tell them what happened. I said, hey, my neighbor just assaulted me. I give them his name. They file a report.
But the authorities don't seem interested in going further than that.
It's not uncommon, especially in the city of Detroit, where two neighbors are fighting or bickering. The police try to encourage the party assaulted not to pursue criminal charges, saying, oh, you have to live with this person. Why don't you just try to avoid them?
But how do you avoid your next-door neighbor? Especially when the situation keeps spiraling from bad to worse. Another warning is delivered.
You're not viewing each other as people and neighbors anymore. You're adversaries. That ends up being a very isolating experience, especially when the other person has been on the block longer, is more popular, has helped people out with their cars. You're kind of the only person with a problem, and this is a bad person to have a problem with.
Charles finally reaches his breaking point.
We gotta get out of here.
You know, my girlfriend, I had to tell her, like, I don't feel comfortable, you know, with you and my daughters being here. I originally thought this was, you know, a great neighborhood to grow a family up in, and, you know, my kids would have the room to grow out and branch. And now my home feels essentially like a prison.
It's time for the Montgomerys to plan their escape. Yet before they can flee their neighbor, their home needs to be prepped for market.
You guys ready to go?
For their own safety, Charles sends Carrie and the kids back to her mother's place.
I'm like, I can't knowingly leave you in a situation where this is going on.
Bye, guys. Be good, okay? Love you.
Carrie knows the war isn't over, so she leaves something behind for Charles.
It was a very scary time in my life.
I worry about you.
Oh, she left the
Anytime
burner.
your girlfriend tells you you need to have this
She
gun,
left the burner.
you
Yeah,
know
you
that
better listen.
something is serious.
Mm-hmm. He only gonna
Michigan
give you
is
so
an
many
open carry
signs.
state, so I got a holster for the gun. I carried the gun the legal way, but I never went anywhere without, having that gun with me. I never came home without having that gun with me.
Even though he's now armed, Charles still does all he can to stay out of Mark's sight.
At this point, I'm like, what can I do? I would literally drive around the neighborhood before going home. If I saw his vehicles out there, if I saw that he was, doing anything out there, I would just not stop. I would literally go home at hours to avoid him. I would go to friends' houses. It became a point where, I just didn't want to go home. I didn't feel safe being in my home.
But when you're locked in a violent feud with your next-door neighbor, you can't hide forever.
So by that point, by the time Chaz is carrying a gun pretty regularly, he's trying to keep himself scarce in the neighborhood, and especially out of the line of sight of Mark.
Had a great day at work. I remember because I had wrote some big policies and I was actually happy about it.
When Charles returns home that evening, it's to a street full of kids playing and no sign of Mark.
Like any other regular day, let my children go outside to play. They went out and, went to check, out the window and check out on my kids and stuff. See them, they were still outside playing, running up the street and stuff.
But as I'm pulling up, I notice that the neighbor's garbage, which is directly to the left of my home, is now at the tip and in my driveway. Bust open, just bags of garbage.
I looked over Chaz. I seen him kick, some garbage and stuff around, and he on the cell phone pacing back and forth.
Hey!
Yeah.
Is this your garbage?
No way. Mm-mm.
Well, is it Mark's?
I don't think so.
Charles is determined to find out who threw the garbage in his driveway.
He went through the garbage and he found the phone number for a neighbor who lived on the other side and called the neighbor. Mark saw Chaz on the phone and assumed that he was calling the police. And that triggered
So he decided
Mark
to be judge, jury, and
come
execution.
over to Chaz's property and confront him about the phone call.
Hey, get off the phone. This is not my trash.
While this is going on, here comes Mark.
You've been lying, huh?
Buddy, I don't want to do this anymore.
What started out as, just, hey, I'm not talking to the police. Just be cool. Just let me alone.
I hear them like yelling. I'm like, oh, they arguing. And it was kind of like intense. So I was like, kids, go in the house, mind your business. Don't look.
Go back to your sketchy chop shop before things get ugly, all
This
right?
is not my chop shop. This is my business. Yeah, you are trying to drive me out.
I know you can see this gun on my hip, and you're still walking up on me like this. Like what type of guy is this? Like, who walks upon somebody with a gun on their hip?
You're a rat and a liar.
He keeps coming up. I just keep standing there like, bro, just please leave me alone.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm
he's
gonna
about to put
come
him
back
down.
and burn this house down, and then I'm gonna kill you.
I'm just yelling at him. He's just still yelling, you little we'll get your, you know, this. I'm done with this. Done with this.
You know what? I'd like to see you try that, bud.
Mark had been drinking. He was agitated. He was in his aggressive mode, and he lunged toward Chaz.
Put him down. That's what he get. I don't give a damn what was wrong with him. That's what he get.
You're trying to spread lies about me.
Should have did
you
it sooner.
rat.
Buddy, just get out of here. Buddy, I don't want to do this anymore.
Several of the neighbors from across the street looked through the window and saw Mark and Chaz in the driveway, involved in a heated argument.
Get the hell off me! Come on. So, what the hell are you doing? What are you gonna do, huh?
I probably took about maybe not even 5 steps into my living room, and it was like the gunshots.
Put him
In
down.
this once peaceful neighborhood, a terrible sound rings out over the street.
Pow, pow, pow. And I'm like, told my kids, like, hit the floor.
Once I started
Why are you
shooting, I
scared?
just didn't stop until he stepped.
Why is she scared?
Yeah,
Why is she
I
scared
didn't
now?
know
It was all
how
funny,
many
right?
times I
She should be
shot.
laughing sitting out on the porch
Mark
with her
was
children
shot
playing.
7 times.
It was funny.
There were 7 shots fired.
Put
Yet
enough in him.
somehow, Mark is still alive.
7 shots. He ain't gonna make it that long.
My neighbor just shot my other neighbor. He laying in the street. Oh my God. Oh God.
Wait, please don't die.
What you
And
crying
I'm
for?
like, at this point, I'm crying.
For
like,
what?
talking to him, I'm like, you gotta fight, Mark. You gotta
was one of the
breathe and
reasons
stuff,
why it
and,
happened.
You know, and, like, you gotta think about your children.
You notice how she ain't smiling
I just
anymore,
start
y'all?
praying.
She ain't laughing no
I just
more, is
start
she?
praying on, you know, like,
ain't
Chad
happening no
started
more.
praying with me.
I don't know. Breathe, Mark. Breathe. Mark, please.
He was still trying to help the man.
No, you get Mark. You get him. Shot me 2 times.
Mark is rushed to the hospital, fighting for his life.
He knew it. He said he shot me too many times. But you asked for it, boy.
Charles is placed under arrest.
I'm thinking I didn't do anything wrong here. I said, talk to him. I'm thinking he's gonna tell them. I'm thinking he's still alive. I said, all you gotta do is talk to Mark. He'll tell you what happened. Like, just talk to him.
45
Now with that many
minutes
bullets
later,
hit him.
Mark Davidson dies from his wounds. Charles Montgomery is charged with second-degree murder and the possession of a firearm and the commission of a felony.
I didn't find out that Mark actually passed away until I was being indicted.
Initial media reports paint a simplistic portrait of the shooting.
The narrative of this case was from the, from the local news outlets was that this was an altercation over garbage and over a garbage can, and that Chaz had shot his neighbor because of this disagreement or this argument over garbage, which was, as we learned, was the furthest from the truth.
4 months after Mark's death, Charles faces a jury of his peers.
This is a story.
He better not have been found guilty
the
of nothing.
neighborhood bully versus a choir boy. And the evidence in this case supported our narrative. And when I say he was a choir boy, he really, really was a choir boy.
trial. Eyewitness accounts support Charles' claim of self-defense.
The jury went out and deliberated for less than a day. Count 1, second-degree murder, not guilty. As to the felony firearm count, not guilty.
Okay.
You know, it was the day that I rejoiced, but at the same time, now I walk with this heaviness with me. If I could take it back or do anything differently to avoid all of this, I would. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever want to or thought about ever hurting anybody.
So I just hope people watch this and think, what could I do differently? What would I do differently?
Yeah.
Because even the man who defended himself and did what he thought was right at the time regretted it.
It didn't have to come to that point. It shouldn't have came to that point. Mark's death, it took a toll, you know, on the neighborhood. I seen what kind of father he was, and that's
But
right
none of
there
y'all
is,
stopped him. None of y'all
like,
fit
the
corrected
toughest
him.
blow. I'm never gonna forget.
That's what I'm saying, though. None of them protected him. None of them told him, hey, man, look, you need to stop. This is crazy. Let's cut this out. None of that. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't want to do that, you know? So, all right, y'all. That's the channel right there. I know y'all like those. So I'm going to put another one on there. We'll get that to it. We'll get to it. All right, y'all. So like and subscribe to the Smith Cartel channel. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm Hefe. To my family, love them. To y'all, be breezy, baby.